This is Animation Nights New York, Animator Interviews. My name is Yvonne Grzenkowicz, and I had an opportunity to sit down with Svilen Dimitrov and Mila Voinikova of Rue Day and Miramar Films. Please note that at times during this interview, you will hear Svilen speak in his native tongue and then hear Mila translate. Please enjoy. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Of course. It's a real honor to speak with you both. I'd like to chat maybe a little bit about Rue Day and then hear a little bit from you both about, what inspires you, why you make animation, and a little bit about your history.
Sure, of course.
Yeah.
So, Svilen, your first film was created when you were age 11, called Puppy, I think. It takes so much time and effort to create an animated film. What inspired you to make this film Puppy? What created the fire?
I will.
Давай на български.
На български. Моята история с анимацията започна малко по-отрано, от ранните детски години, когато от колекционерска страст, така да се каже. И започнах да пресъздавам различни изображения, които аз не притежавах, но исках да имам и да разглеждам.
Well, my history with animation started when I was very little, let's say from passion for collecting, because there were so many things that I wanted to have, but I didn't have. And so many images that I wanted to have, books or drawings of Disney characters and so forth. So I just drew them because I didn't have them.
So what inspired you to then make those images move?
Бях на 5 години, когато гледах Мики Маус и от тогава знаех, че това е с което искам да се занимавам, да раздвижвам рисунките. Не просто да ги нарисувам. Даже не ме интересуваше самата рисунка, интересуваше ме нейното движение, как тя оживява.
I was 5 years old when I saw a Mickey Mouse film in a theater, and from then on I knew that this is what I wanted to do. Not even that much drawing, but putting the drawing in motion.
That's so much drive at such a young age. I read that you were at the Bulgarian National Academy for Theater and Film Arts. How was that experience for you?
Беше много хубава цялата тази среща, първа среща с кинаджии, защото аз до тогава нямах връзка, живеех във Варна, далеч от столицата, където нямаше връзка с въобще хора, които се занимават с кино и с анимация.
It was a great experience for me to go to the academy and meet all those people who were involved in cinema, because I'm from another town, Varna, and where there weren't that many people who work in film, so it was great experience to be in the academy.
За първи път имах достъп до техника и до всички тези детайли, които са ми необходими, за да продължа напред. И съм много благодарен на учителите, които там ме научиха на най-различни неща, всеки по различен начин.
It was the first time I had access to equipment, so I worked a lot. I even worked with some previous drawings that I had. And I'm very thankful to my teachers, of course, and they were very different from each other, and they taught us very different things. So it was a great experience, really.
That's wonderful. Were your parents in the arts?
No,
they're not.
My mother is teacher, my father is счетоводител.
Yeah, my father is a teacher, and my father is an accountant.
So you had this passion for the arts and for animation, and you found a whole new world.
Yes.
Amazing. I'm glad that you did. That's really something. What a cool story.
It's very big love to animate.
Yes.
Kasi и до ден днешен.
It's a very big love for animation, and it continues till today. It hasn't changed.
That's amazing. So you've done a lot of commercial work, a lot of very successful commercial work. I wonder, and this will, I think, will help other animators. What are the most challenging aspects of commercial work?
Най-хубавото нещо е разнообразието в тези задания. Правили сме стоп моушън, 2D, 3D, най-различни стилове сме опитвали и смесването между тях. Това само ни е помагало за филмите след това, които създаваме.
A very good thing is the diversity, because we've been able to work stop motion, 2D, 3D, and even combination between them. And in fact, it has helped us in our films as well, this experience.
How is your approach different for something that's commercial as opposed to something that is personal?
Винаги се съобразявам с изискването на клиента и това, което е основната цел на тази реклама. Предлагаме някаква история, предлагаме стилизация на цялото нещо и стигаме до някакво решение.
Yeah, we always take into account the client and their needs and what they're asking for and what type of commercial they're doing. And then we propose different things and we discuss and then we come to the final styling and the story and everything. It's a process.
How has that process changed and evolved through time? Because you've created so many successful pieces and worked with so many clients. How has that process, become what it is today? How has it changed?
Със сигурност, да. Всяко нещо вкарва, отразява се след това на работата. И човек по някакъв начин израства, не повтаря грешки, които е допуснал по-рано. Много от нещата, които сме направили, никак не са за хвалба, но такава е била ситуацията и изискването. И не ги показваме след това.
Yeah, of course it changes. Mostly our experience changes once you have more experience. Of course, you don't make certain mistakes twice.
It's always a challenge to, work with clients and sometimes they don't know what they want. They don't understand the time element and the process for animation.
Винаги има такива проблеми, но някой път клиента не знае точно какво иска, но се доверява на това, което ние предложим, и то тогава е най-доброто, което е възможно в тази ситуация, и тогава се получават най-добре нещата.
It happens that the clients are not exactly aware of what they really want, but the best work happens when they trust us and follow our lead in a way. So these are the best results.
Right. And the great thing is you have an exceptional portfolio to begin with. So they have many types of examples. It's something that I know many animators, are always sort of dealing with. So it's something that if people are working commercially, I think it's, it's interesting to sort of just know your feelings and approach on the subject. Thank you.
Това са малки филми. Приемаме го, че това са все едно малки филми, които са най-разнообразни и ни учат на много неща.
The best thing about it, maybe it's they're like small films and they're different, which is good. We learn from them. We have a chance to experiment with different techniques, and they're quick. I mean,
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. I noticed that particularly in your later films, there's 3D and 2D elements combined. What is your workflow process for this style?
Винаги гледаме да комбинираме в различни стилове на анимация, защото така те повече изпъкват и някак смесването на техники много обогатява изображението.
Yeah, we always try to combine different styles and different techniques, and that's in a way you highlight the technique, and also the film gains a lot from this, and it's enriched by this combination of techniques.
That is the end result, and it definitely adds an extra element, creates a foundation for the characters.
We have one film, The Magic Cake of Anti-Bounty, the animation, but the face of the characters is 2D. Направихме първо 3D анимацията и след това по 3D анимацията направихме лицата като процеса.
Yeah, so this film is 3D, The Magic Cake of Anti-Bounty, but actually the faces are 2D. So we first did them in 3D and then changed them to 2D.
Oh.
Не ги променяме. Не. Първо анимираме 3D-то.
They animated the 3D
first, and then we make the facial expression.
And the facial expressions are in
second
2D.
2D. Yes.
Cool. As an aside, do you know this film? I actually mention it quite often. The Pierce Sisters, the Aardman film. There were elements that were hand painted on top. There's a sort of transition of depth that happens for key elements in the story, and I felt that Rude has that in some places as well. Yes, that's it.
I know, with the fish.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Very good film. Yes.
Oh, so nice. I know. I think it's
special
one of
technique.
Yes. What you do with the combination of 2D and 3D for key elements in the story, it seems like that's important to you as well.
Yes.
So let's talk about Rue Day. Rue Day is a beautiful film. It's won many awards around the world. It was initially released in 2012. It recently won our Audience Choice Award at Animation Nights New York. Let's talk about the film first and celebrate the film. The layout of the story is fascinating. There are really two different films in a way at the same time. There's an element of time reversal and a moment in time and progression of time. It makes the viewer think about their own place in time and what could happen to them. So did you always plan on doing the film in reverse, utilizing time and time's arrow as part of the storytelling of the film? Is the question.
Yes. Когато ми дойде идеята за филма, аз си го представих точно по този начин. Създаден от две равни части. Първата част абсолютно, почти възможно по-статична, и втората част с много действие, което се случва отзад напред и разкрива какъв точно е проблема в тази първа част, която задава въпроси.
Yes, from the very beginning, it was my idea to make the film like this and have two distinct parts, almost separated in half, with the first half very static, which poses a lot of questions. We don't know what is happening, and then the second part is action-packed. and tells us the story beforehand and actually answers the questions from the first static part.
There really is such a mystery in this film, and I love the key elements that you add with the little blue bird and also with the pail of fish becomes a red herring. It pulls your eye away from the main character and you don't know what his state is or what is happening with him because of this bucket with the flies. It creates this puzzle and a solution to the puzzle, and then that beautiful animation of the cat, oh my goodness, coming through the scene that also pulls your eye. You lead the viewer like a magician with sleight of hand through the scene. It's really, quite beautiful. There is so much mystery around it. You want to just rewatch it and rewatch it to find out everything you can.
Thank you.
What else would you like to say about the film? I'm sorry, in my excitement.
You said it very well. So many things which are so right.
It really is two different films. If you reverse it, the main character, you feel completely different toward him. There are moments in this film where the character is like having a bad day, like falling and falling into the elevator and falling down the stairs, and he's like a weighty guy, and the action scene, not to mention that, the falling through the air, and so much gravity is in those movements because they're beautifully animated. But then in reverse, there's no gravity. So I wondered, is this something that you thought about? It was something that I was struck by.
В началото, нали, имаше въпрос как да се създаде цялото нещо и бях тръгнал и експериментирах да анимирам от зад напред, както всъщност ще се вижда във филма, но много бързо разбрах, че това не е начина.
Yeah, in the beginning I was thinking and I was experimenting and started to animate reverse movements, exactly as we would see them in the film, but then I realized this is not the way to do it.
Fascinating.
Защото трябваше да изглежда ревърсното движение, за да изглежда ревърсното, трябваше да се направи напред.
Yeah, and so that it really looks reversed movement, we had to do it go forward.
Right.
Но се налагаха се малки поправки, след като ревърсна анимацията, за да се акцентира на дадени моменти и дължини.
But then we still had to do some corrections, and once you do it forward and reverse it, there are still some moments that doesn't quite work. So we had to do the reverse, the animation reverse, and this was to highlight certain elements and certain movements.
Right, amazing. Yeah, that's wild. It's almost becomes this extra tool. That's really interesting. Wow.
Голямото забавление в цялата работа.
Yeah, that was the greatest fun in making this film.
The lighting, I mean, light is important in all visual mediums, sure, and in film, but in particular at the beginning or end of the day and beginning and end of the film, the lighting changes capture that gorgeous transition of the day into dusk and transition into morning. You capture that so well. What can you tell us about the process in creating that lighting, particularly in the beginning and the end of the film?
Да кажем, само да въведем, че беше важно за историята на филма, нали, като за начало, защото целият филм се случва в един ден и трябва да проследим целият този ден.
Yeah, though I think in this case was also important for the story and for the storytelling, because the story happens within one day, and we had to show that sunset, sunrise.
Технически за първия кадър са нарисувани 16 декора, които преливат през цялото време един в друг. Ако искаш това кажеш.
Technically, for the first shot, we did 16 backgrounds, and they just move one into the other.
For a fade. Oh, it's gorgeous. Yes. Yeah, it's for a smooth transition. The amount of care and love in all of those frames and transitions really makes the impact of the story so, even stronger. It's so much more profound, right? So many layers. It has so many layers on top of layers. And that is art. That's what art is, right? The bluebird makes an appearance at the beginning of the film and the end of the film, but is also a factor in sort of moving things forward, shall we say, in the film. Is there an extra significance to this little bluebird?
Yes. Синьото птиче е символ на надеждата и не случайно съм го сложил два пъти. Веднъж, когато виждаме, че герой е умрял, и втори път, когато той се събужда в началото на този тежък ден.
Yeah, the bluebird is a symbol of hope. And of course, it's not a coincidence that I've put it twice. First, when we actually realized that the character is dead, and then in the beginning of his day, which he's hoping to be good.
Such a beautiful day. Oh, that's wonderful. That is brilliant.
Walt за репликата.
Yes, for this line, we used the voice of John Walton, the frontman of Uriah Heep.
Създателя на песента, нали, July Morning.
Yes, and of course his song July. He's the author of the song July Morning, who is also a symbol of hope and something new and the sunrise.
Oh, that's great. I'm so pleased that we're able to play your film Rude at Animation Nights New York. Unfortunately, the way we received it was via a theft. So let's mention that in order to shine light on the fact that this happens. I'll say I have encountered this type of thing in the past, except we've never had a film submitted with like new titles added, right? And credits. And thank you very much with names. We were duped, but so pleased to see the film. And let's just talk about the theft to shine light on the fact that this happens, because it's shocking. We don't have to spend too much time on it, because honestly, I'd rather celebrate your film, but I know that it's important to you to let people know. But happy Friday. Friday is what the film is called. When the thief submitted it, how did you learn about this borrowing and theft of your film? How did you learn of it?
Как научихме?
Наша приятелка, режисьорка, аниматорка Мира Янкова беше жури на фестивал в Европа.
It was a friend of ours, animation director Mira Yankova, who was a jury in, I think she was in the selection committee of a festival.
Тя е видяла филма и веднага ни каза ситуацията. След това се появиха и други сигнали от други хора, с които съм се срещал на фестивали и те си спомниха за филма.
Yes, and of course she told us immediately about this, and shortly after, other selectors from festivals recognized the film and told us about this and did public announcements about this.
I mean, the film won, how many awards did it win? Like, at least, I mean, there were 30, 40 awards and official selections just listed on the film, and it was released in 2012. But I suppose that maybe someone thought there was just a window of opportunity because some time had passed. I think I was making my own films at the time, and maybe like head down drawing, and not, which is why I hadn't seen that film. But I suppose we need wider distribution of animated short film, right? That's what we need. That will help solve this issue, I think.
Yeah,
Anyway.
eventually Cartoon Brew, they also published an article about this.
Yes.
It was great because that's how you make the case more visible and more people could hear about that and know this happens.
That's right. Well, since that time, the Thief, the film has been is not accessible now on Film Freeway through the regular channels, and his photo related to that to your film the connection has been removed. But yeah, enough about that person. Anyway, is there anything else you would like to say about that subject?
Кражбата, нали, по принцип е нещо лошо, но в случая пък ни селектира на този фестивал, което е тип нов живот за филма.
Yeah, theft is never a good thing, but then again, it made the film go to this festival, and now we are talking about it. So
that's true. Then it speaks to how wonderful you both are, that you approach the situation in that way. I have to say, as I mentioned before, I'm also very thankful to speak to you now about it, and also have your beautiful film represented now correctly with the correct titles and acknowledgements at our festival. It really is such a wonderful film, and it should have many more runs, and see what we can do. Happy Friday. So what are you working on? What are you working on now? What are you currently working on, or that you can talk about? Because I know sometimes we can't always talk about projects that we're working on. What can you talk about?
Нова кратка история за трима старци, които се срещат, и филма се нарича Клуб 127. Това е достатъчно.
It's a new film about three elderly men who live in the city, and their lives somehow interconnect. And the title of the film is Club 127. Gotcha.
Oh, well, do you know generally what the timeline will be, or not yet?
Трябва до края на годината. Уж, надяваме се.
Yeah, I don't want to add stress.
The plan is to do it by the end of the year.
Okay, I want to see it. Yeah. I want to see it. Okay, well, no pressure from me, but we'll look forward to Club 127. That's exciting. The premise, knowing your amazing animation and all of the elements that you put into your films, Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. That premise sounds very, very interesting. I feel it could go anywhere. So my mind is working, trying to think about what that might look like. So I'm very excited to eventually to see that. Thank you for telling us. How do you approach film ideas in general? I know that's it's kind of a large question, but are you constantly collecting them? Do they, appear to you in the bath? Do you just doodle a lot and draw? How do you collect ideas, or do you collect ideas, or are you just naturally do things just kind of flow from you?
Най-често записвам някакви идеи, хрумки по-скоро, които са ми дошли, но тези, които всъщност издържат на времето и се превръщат в филм по-късно, те няма значение дали са записани, защото остават в главата и продължават да работят и всъщност с тях се занимавам само. Иначе има много записани най-различни хрумки, които никога не стават на филм.
I often write down some ideas, but the ones that stay with me and make it into a film, they're written in my head, and they don't need to be written down because they just stay with me. Even though maybe I've written them down at some point, they do stay with me, and they are the stronger ones.
So it sounds like you're constantly making films. Constantly, all the time, and you're the secret studio in your brain.
Something like that.
It's constantly churning, and you're just adding to it, and then you just pull those out. Wow, that is a gift. That is a gift. How wonderful. Oh. Let me just say the rest of us have it much harder. No, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. I suppose the translation is always okay, so when you in the studio in your mind that it's constantly working on these films, I guess the challenge is then making something in reality that's tangible for all of us to match the creation in your mind. Or is that a challenge? Does it come easily?
Предизвикателство е да се направи. Да, в смисъл, тя казва, че голямото предизвикателство е това, което ти е в главата, да стане на филм.
Yes. И с годините гледам все повече. Това ми е всъщност най-голямата задача. Това, което ми е в главата, да изглежда възможно по-близко до това, което се получава финално.
Yes, of course, it's a challenge, and what I'm trying to do, and more throughout the years, is to make sure what is in my head and what is, to be as much closer to what actually ends up in the
final.
Yes. Excellent. Oh, that's really great. Do you have any advice for animators just starting out? Do you have, what words of wisdom do you have?
Нали, сега е много по-лесно да се прави анимация, много по-техниката го позволява и в интернет също връзката между отделни аниматори, въобще как да се постигне всяко едно от тези неща, но най-важното е човек да обича анимацията, за да създаде нещо качествено, да бъде голям фен и да я обича.
Yeah, today there are many more ways to do animation. It's more accessible because of all the software and internet, and to connect with other animators. So it's way more easy than it was before. But still, the most important thing about in order to do animation is to really love it and to be devoted, and love is the main thing.
That's a good answer. Finally, I would love to hear a little bit more about Miramar Films.
Sure. We are a production company. It's been founded over about 20 years ago. I'm here with the company for more than 10 as a producer, and we do feature films. We do documentaries as well, shorts from young actors. We recently started doing TV series as well. So it's quite diverse, but mostly feature. And we are very happy to have Svilen with us. And of course, we support him for every film he
Excellent.
wants to do. And he has freedom. Probably not that much time because we work on commercials as well, and he is also very important in that part of the business. So sometimes we all wish he could work faster his films and make more of them.
Yes.
Последният филм беше направен за 4 години.
Yes, actually his previous film, Shall in Love, was made for over 4 years.
Wow.
And yeah, it just took time. And the new film he is doing, I think he chose a little simpler technique, so just that he can do it faster. So we'll see, but it doesn't mean that it will be worse or anything, just another technique
Of course.
that will allow him not to spend 4 years on one.
Well, just, keep making your beautiful work. That is the most important thing. Well, Svilen and Mila, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me about Rude and about the work that you're doing at Miramar, and Svilen about the other films you've made and your upcoming films, and your history in animation, and please keep making your beautiful work. Yeah, it was a real honor to speak with you both. How can we reach you?
We have a website, it's miramarfilm.com, and we have a Facebook profile for the company. Again, I think easy to find, and we have a Vimeo account again with our name. Thank you so much for this interview and for all the good things you said about the film.
Thank you both so much for being here, and we'll talk to you again soon.